Hey, friends, welcome back to another episode of Wedding Diaries, where we share real stories about real couples and I provide you with an insight from a seasoned wedding photographer's perspective. I am your host, Michael T. Davis Photography. I've been a wedding photographer since 2011, so I know a thing or two about how this whole world works. All right, so I'm going to jump right in with our story of the day. So this couple wrote in and said that their future husband and them are at the beginning stages of wedding planning, so early that they haven't even set a date yet. And they were okay with kids being there. Their family were too, but they don't want to inconvenience their family by not allowing kids. And they have the sweetest nieces and nephews that they could not imagine being there. I already know where this is going because so many couples deal with who do we invite? Do we invite kids? Do we not invite kids? So forth and so on. So this is the rabbit hole that we're going down. So their future husband has two nephews. One that is 3, so sweet and obsessed with the bride. The other, ooh. How do I put this so nicely? They have never seen them well behave. Every time that they've seen them, which has been many times, he's running around indoors, cursing, hitting the father, the future husband, and others with his hands and item, making wild, inappropriate comments that the bride is just baffled, baffled about the actions. His mom was 16 when she had him, so she's trying to give her a pass, but it's hard for her not to get internally judgy about her own parenting decisions. This does not impact the relationship that they have. She likes the mom a lot. So now the bride is torn. The bride is torn. The bride knows that she can invite all of the kids except him. She can't invite all the kids and not invite him. She can't invite his brother, but not the child. She knows that it will cause family issues and she will look like a bridezilla. And maybe the future sister in law won't come, which would be devastating. Devastating. But she really doesn't want him there. This might just have something, this might just have to be something that she has to get over and that she'll try not to focus on him, but it's going to be hard to notice his inevitable antics. Her only hope is that he matures a tiny bit before the wedding, which will probably be in a year and a half. To be honest, she hasn't talked to her fiance about this and she doesn't know how to bring it up, but she knows that he will know where she's coming from. And she feels bad for even having these thoughts. His family deserves to be included. This is really a rant, but she's looking for advice. Well, you've come to the right place, friend. So let me start. Let me start here. As a photographer, I always tell my couples my job is to make sure that you are present. Because if you're not present, you're going to be worrying about 8 million other things. And being present also includes the people that you invite to your wedding. So I know kids is a hot topic. Do I invite kids or not invite kids? In this situation, we're going so much deeper into a specific child that's part of the family that may invite issues. So I will say this. I'm a huge proponent to block all the distractions that are going to prevent you from having an amazing wedding day. Block all the distractions. Don't invite the people who are going to cause you chaos and drama and pain because you're going to regret it when they show up and show out. Now, with that being said, I understand that family politics are a part of the game. You can't get around them. When you invite certain family members and you don't invite others, like you have to live and deal with that situation. And sometimes it's not worth it, right? Sometimes it's just not worth it. And so that back and forth of who to invite from the family, who not to invite, I get it. I planned my wedding in 2010. I understand. So I have some recommendations for you. I feel like you can go one of two ways in order to not single this person out. You can have a kid-free wedding, a completely kid-free wedding, or you can put in barriers or put in things to focus the child. So, for example, having a conversation with your fiance, having a conversation with your future sister-in-law and say, hey, I'm really anxious about our nephew. Can we bring something for him to stay focused? Can we bring something for him to be entertained? Is there someone that's going to be able to watch him throughout the day? And from my own personal experience, I have actually seen and photographed weddings where the children were invited to the ceremony, and then afterwards, they had a babysitter. All the kids went up to a babysitting room and they were there with puzzles, games. They hired a babysitter. Sometimes the parents would go check in. So there are so many options in order to keep the children in the wedding or that come to the wedding occupied. The sky is the limit. So my advice to you is one, sit down and have those conversations. Do not hold them in. Don't do it. You're going to regret not telling anyone. Definitely have a conversation with your fiance. Definitely have a conversation with your future sister-in-law. And think about how we can put in those barriers to keep your nephew occupied. Because that's the goal. You know you want him there. You know you want kids that are important to your family. You don't want to cause any drama. So whether it's a babysitter, whether you have a conversation with your future sister-in-law to say, hey, I need you to like watch him like a hawk. Maybe you bring puzzles. I've seen weddings where at the reception they had a puzzle corner. The kids were drawing and making their own puzzles. They were painting. They had an arts and crafts station, things to keep children occupied so that they're not left to their own shenanigans. So that is my advice. I hope this helps. Let me know how that turns out for you. And again, this is Wedding Diaries from yours truly, Michael T. Davis. Tune in next time.